Thomas Adams and Peter Lyman solos to the European Chamber Orchestra, and the Sinfonia for two trumpets by Giuseppe Torelli, Italian composer working in Venice. And dressed in trombone, still to come, we'll hear the piano sonata in B minor of Franz Liszt, and this work by American composer, filmmaker, and pianist Chris Bowers, written film scores for movies like The Green Book, Color Purple, Silver Lining, TV show Bridgerton. Also is a jazz pianist, classical pianist. This is a piece of his called For a Younger Self, the second movement, Larghetto, performed by Charles Young, the Charles Viscaret, and his American Youth Symphony Orchestra.
Good evening, everyone. And welcome to Little Falls High School for the 153rd commencement ceremony for the class of 2025. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leanne Dooley. I'm the high school principal. Before we start the ceremony, I would have to make a couple of announcements. First, we need to discuss or have an announcement in regards to a couple of mistakes that were made in the commencement booklet. First, the Eric and Ruth Cup Award should have gone to a different recipient, and it should have gone to actually Lauren White. However, it was given to another student. We're honoring both students, but I want to formally congratulate Lauren White for receiving that award. Second, the recipients of the class of 1976 scholarship were listed incorrectly in the booklet, and those were given to the right students during the ceremony, except for they're wrong in the booklet. So we apologize about that, and the recipients are Olivia McGraw and Olivia Canistar. Once again, we apologize for that oversight, but we are very proud of all of our students. I would ask at this time that everybody silences their cell phones. In case of an emergency, please move in a calm, orderly fashion to the closest exits located on the side and in the back. I would also ask that if you have small children with you and they're crying and it's during the student speeches, if I could ask you to move out into the hallway, and I know you don't want to miss anything, but it will throw the students off that are up speaking. So if we could do that, I'd really appreciate it. Now, I'm going to welcome the class of 2025 in.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? As we celebrate this milestone, it's important to recognize those who help make moments like this possible. It is now my honor to introduce a leader whose dedication, vision, and unwavering support has helped shape the success of our schools and students. Please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Levatino, whose commitment to education continues to inspire excellence across our district.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Education and the faculty and staff of the Little Falls City School District, I would like to welcome the families, friends, and guests of the class of 2025. It is such an honor to address the graduating class and celebrate their wonderful accomplishments. Before I begin my remarks to our graduating seniors this evening, I would like to introduce members of the Little Falls City School District's Board of Education. Starting off with the Board President, Mrs. Christine Shepherdson. The Board Vice President, Mr. Frank Mendel. And our Commissioners, Mr. Joseph Finks, Mrs. Christina Haymeister, Mrs. Tony Ann Johns, and Mrs. Kimberly Sabatino. I would also like to take a moment and introduce the school's administration, starting off with Mr. Bartuli, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum, Mrs. Leanne Dooley, High School Principal, Mrs. Jennifer Smith, Middle School Principal, Mr. Joe Long, Benton Hall Academy Principal, And just quickly, for those of you who do not know, Mr. Long is retiring this school year, and it would take me endless hours to discuss and identify all of the accomplishments and things that he did for our educational community these last 17 years. But I'll just share quickly what I told yesterday's fifth graders during the fifth grade graduation. Sorry to put you on the spot, Mr. Long. I said to the fifth graders, there's a certain presidential quote that I always think about that reminds me of Mr. Long. And that quote came from President Kennedy, our 35th president, back in January of 1961 in his inaugural address, where he said to the nation, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I then told the fifth graders, if President Kennedy was standing beside me yesterday and this evening, he would tell all of you that Mr. Long never once asked what Benton Hall Academy could do for him. He asked what he could do for Benton Hall Academy. So Mr. Long, congratulations and thank you for everything. Thank you very much. Moving on, Mrs. Brenna Kazicki-Graham, our Director of Pupil Personnel. Mr. David Beers, our current middle school and high school assistant principal and athletic coordinator, soon to be the principal of Benton Hall Academy. I'd also like to introduce and thank Mrs. Monica Tooley, the president of the Little Falls Teachers Association. And a very high-level thank you to all faculty, staff, maintenance department, transportation department, buildings and grounds, our two school resource officers, Officers Wright and Pollock, who are here tonight protecting us, thank you, as well as all of you, parents and families who give us your unconditional support each and every day, each and every year. When you look up, students, the definition of commencement, you will see that it states a new beginning or start. Commencement is a rich tradition at Little Falls High School, and today we are here to honor our wonderful group of young men and women who have made a difference in our school and in our community. They've excelled in what I've identified for many years as the triple A's: academics, arts, and athletics. This class has represented our school district with pride and dignity, and it has been our pleasure for all of us to watch you grow to be successful young adults that you are today. Graduating from high school is viewed as the single most mark in your educational career, and it is viewed by our society as a great accomplishment. Students, just look around and see all the people that are here today celebrating this day with you. It's a day that puts the cap on all the years that you have spent in education. We like to believe that we have served you well, that we have prepared you for the challenges that will become before you, and your families share that same belief with us. Students, you cannot be afraid to go after what you want in life. It will require a lot of hard work, devotion, and dedication. All of us, however, believe that if you made it this far, you can attain any goal that you want. Never, never let anyone dictate who you are or what you can do. You dictate, moving forward, what happens in your lifetime. Today, after this ceremony ends, we will go to the lobby, and eventually all of you will walk out the doors of the Little Falls High School to the next chapter of your lives. I would ask that in the next chapter you always make the best possible decisions, that you prioritize your future goals, and you always make the best possible choices. Today, the world is different. Yes, it is. As you journey through the next phase of your life, here are a few things that I would ask that you keep in mind. First off, always think. Don't be rushed into doing something you don't want to do. Have fun in life. You're only here once. Make the most of it and enjoy each and every day, each and every minute. Try new things. Explore the world. Taste different foods. Don't be afraid to fail. Through failure, you learn. Through learning, you find new paths forward. If you don't fail every now and then, you will not grow. Ask questions. Don't accept anything for face value. Always listen. Slow down and really hear what other people are saying. You may be surprised. Use genuine common sense. Today, many people seem obvious about too many things. Whenever you are at a decision point, examine it. Laugh. Don't take things too seriously. Make new friends. Find good people throughout life and learn from their perspectives. And finally, students, please realize each and every day, you will always have some type of stimulus. It can be positive, it can be negative, but as a result of a stimulus, you will have a response that will also or could be positive or negative. Most important, always remember what's in the middle of stimulus and response, and that's freedom of choice. How are you going to respond to a stimulus? I ask that you always respond with kindness, respect, and integrity. Graduates, your community is proud of you. All of us are proud of you. We wish you well, best of luck, and congratulations.
Thank you all for joining us here tonight to celebrate this huge accomplishment we have all worked extremely hard to achieve. It is my pleasure to introduce my best friend, someone who has always been by my side, sharing countless memories and laughs, all the way back to when she broke her arm during the biking unit at Benton Hall. Introducing her to give a speech at a high school graduation. Not only is Alyssa my best friend, she is also filled with compassion and is a true inspiration. Please join me in welcoming my best friend, Alyssa Eckler.
Good evening, faculty, staff, family, and friends, and to my fellow classmates of 2025. I am very honored to have the privilege to stand before you today. When I began to write this speech, I was overwhelmed with deciding the one message I could convey in such a short matter of time that would resonate with all of you. There was a quote that has sat with me that I wish to share with you all today to serve as a reminder to understand this is all our first time living. Life is not about finding yourself, but life is about creating yourself. As we all embark on our separate journeys, independently outside of high school, don't fail to remember the ownership you possess over your life. As we sit here now, waiting on the edge of what is yet to come, remember that this is not the end of an experience, but the beginning of the rest of our lives. The decisions you make, the people you meet, the places you end up, the things you fail at, the times you succeed, are all moments where choices you make are a step to initiating your version of your life. While sitting with my thoughts on how to make a point that was relevant and relatable, I realized that the message I want to convey has been surrounding us the last 4 years. Change. Change is not us entering high school freshman year after experiencing a year full of wearing masks and sickness. Change is not us learning who our real friends are. Change is not going from a C to a B or a B to an A. And most importantly, change is not us all being here together for the last time today. What change truly is the people we have become today because of the path of challenges we learned to adapt to. We learned to adjust from online learning to being back at school. We adjusted to falling into the right crowd that we felt we deserved. We adapted to juggling the challenges of school and life that were often tossed our way. And therefore, even after every obstacle or difficult time we've overcome, the things we feel we have had to move on from have in reality been us adapting to making mistakes. The mistakes that display to us that failure does not mean you're not able to succeed, but mistakes that we've all grown from that has led us to be united for the last time today. Standing together as proof change is not what defines who you are. Each and every one of your unique individualities is something that can never be taken from you. It's important to understand that it takes experiences, good or bad, to shape someone into who they are. Having fear of what is unknown, what could or could not happen, making the decision to not take that step forward is a choice. With that being said, I urge all of you to accept and be proud of who you are, and celebrate yourselves today as we have all made the choice to keep showing up. So here we are now, taking the next step forward into our future. Acknowledge that rejection is redirection. Remind yourself comparison is the thief of joy, and tell yourself the most growth happens when you take a step outside of your comfort zone. We can take the following as foundational steps to flourish into the best versions of ourselves. So as we walk across the stage today, we should be proud that we are paving the way for fresh, new experiences, including the things that have already happened to us that have prepared us to embark on the rest of our lives. For my final remarks, I wish to thank the two most significant people in my life, Mom and Dad. Everything I've achieved and accomplished is for you, and more importantly, a reflection of the kind of person you've raised me to be. I wouldn't be here or who I am without you, and that is something I will cherish for a lifetime. I speak for all of us graduates as we thank all parents and guardians for guiding us, picking us up when we fall down, and watching us grow into the young adults we are today. As we walk across the stage into the next chapter of our lives, full of fear of what is unknown, but fulfilled with excitement for our future, I am confident when I say each of us now can walk with our heads held high, not because of the challenges we faced, but how they have shaped us into the resilient individuals we have become. Thank you, Little Falls High School.
Tonight, I get the honor of introducing my best friend. She's the president of every club and takes responsibility for every single class event we plan, especially this year. Growing up with her has been filled with countless memories and laughs. You will hear us laughing from our way, especially if you're in our statistics class. From being in 8th grade and a cohort be together during online school to being here at our last ever high school event. Thank you for being your amazing self and being the best friend I could ever ask for. 3.5 hours will have nothing on us. Now please welcome Lucy Johns.
Since watching my sister's graduation ceremony as a freshman and hearing the national anthem performance, I knew I wanted to do that. And as you all just heard, I did. After the number of times I performed the anthem grew so much, my graduation ceremony felt like the perfect way for me to close the curtain on my musical journey here at Little Falls High School. But no matter how many times I sing it, it always feels like the first time. I still get nervous, and I still critique myself after every performance. But each performance means something more than just hitting the right notes. It's something so much bigger than that. Each time I stood with the microphone ready to sing, I was able to be involved and support everyone in that room in my own way, in a way that I know I'm good at. Each performance reminded me of the power of showing up in a way that shows that I care, but also shows people that you can be supportive in a way that you feel comfortable and extremely confident in. It gave me a way to do more than just show up and cheer from the stands. I feel like I'm contributing to something in my own way every time. Just like the athletes on the court or the students in the classroom, singing became my way of showing up and showing that I care. And with every note, I learned that even if it's hard, taking a deep breath and singing through it anyway helps me grow. One basketball game stands out to me. It was going great until my voice cracked right on the Rockets' red glare. I definitely made the word glare with my voice crack. I was a little embarrassed, disappointed, and yeah, I did go cry in the bathroom afterwards, but you know what they say, the show must go on. So of course, I finished the song strong. And at the end, people still clapped. Just like the girls may have missed a shot in the game, I missed a note in my performance. I needed to reassure myself that one mess up doesn't mean that I'm a bad singer or a bad performer. It doesn't define me. I always believe that everything is what you make of it, so I chose to use this as a learning experience. What I'm trying to say with all of this is that every time I sing, I'm unsure of what the outcome will be. I take risks with every note I sing, trusting myself to work through every single performance. Much like singing, graduation is a leap into the unknown. We're all headed our separate ways after today, and we're trusting that we're going to find our own paths and guide us through. I'm honored. I trust and believe that all of my classmates will not only succeed after high school, but not use their mishaps, errors, and feelings of failure to define them. We have to use these experiences as a way to better ourselves and strengthen the parts that need it most, no matter how scary it is. A little message to the class of 2025, give yourself some grace. Sometimes your biggest failure is something that other people don't even notice. Your good outshines your bad, and it's probably not worth running to the bathroom and crying over. We've all found our voices, whether it's in the classroom, on the field, in clubs, or on stage. We're all involved in our own ways. Use that, trust yourself, and carry your voice into the world. Your voice matters. Use it to stand up and speak out. Because if singing the anthem as many times as I did this year taught me anything, it's that my voice means more than I ever thought it could.
I'm honored to be introducing to you this evening my best friend and partner in crime. Since 10th grade, she has kept me in line every day, telling me everything every Wednesday when the NHS meeting is, reminding me to do my homework so I don't have to crunch in the last hour before turning it in, and so many other school responsibilities that I wouldn't be able to do without her. To say I'm going to miss her detailed organization skills, attending each other's sporting events, and meeting up at our lockers every day is an understatement. I couldn't be more proud of her for everything she's accomplished in the last 4 years and all that is to come. I know this is just the beginning. Please give a warm welcome to Paige Murrow.
Good evening, parents, family, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates of the class of 2025. It is with great honor that I get to speak to you all today. In a few minutes, we will walk the stage and receive the diploma that signifies the conclusion in this chapter of life. We're about to embark on a journey that is full of blank pages that we get to write our story to. Our story is what we make of it. We get to decide what the next years of our life hold. As I sat down to write this speech, I was at a loss as to how someone can sum up the lessons and memories of the last 12 years into a 3-minute speech. But that's the thing, you can't. Each and every one of us had our own unique experiences that turned us into who we are today. As I was replaying all of those days where I laughed so hard that I cried, and those days where everything just seemed to be going wrong, I remembered the little girl that I used to be. The little girl who was so excited to show her parents a new outfit she put on her Barbie doll. The little girl who would sing Stuck Like Glue by Sugarland and give her parents dance performances around the house. Now I want all of you to think about the moments as little boys and girls that shaped you into the people you are today. 12 years ago, we had no idea what to expect walking into kindergarten with our backpacks so big they went all the way past our knees. As we walked into those doors, excited to meet the kids who will soon become our new friends, we had no idea that 12 years later, those friends will have never left our side. Those little girls and boys that we all used to be would have never imagined that there was an end to school, a final chapter. But I can guarantee that those little boys and girls would be so proud of how far we've come. In the blur of the last 12 years, I would often catch myself taking for granted all of the lasts, not even realizing it until it was over. The last recess, the last dances, the last game I would play on the softball team. Most of all, the last time I would hear the bell chime at school, the bell that signified the start of my first day of kindergarten, and the same bell that signified the final minute that I'd be a senior at Little Falls High School. The bell that never changed, but the little girl hearing it did. The truth is, life is hard and the world is imperfect. As we step towards those new possibilities in this next chapter of our lives, with joy and hope, we will be faced with hard challenges. We will go through days that feel like they're never ending or days that nothing can seem to go right. In life, there will be times where you feel like you aren't making any progress. But remember, every step back from one goal is a step closer to another. I was always so caught up in looking towards the next best thing that I forgot to appreciate those last. I was always too worried about the next test I had to take, all the assignments I needed to turn in, and looking toward the future year. I missed all of the moments in the present that I should cherish forever because I was too worried about the future. So from now on, cherish those moments. The graduation parties, saying goodbye to your parents as you leave home for the first time, and all of the lasts that your future will hold. Don't take for granted those last moments because they symbolize a closing to a chapter in your life, but also the next exciting new beginning of another chapter. The reason I bring this up is simple. Never take for granted the last that will happen in your lifetime. Life is short, so don't spend it worrying about what's ahead. Instead, focus on those moments that you're living through right now. Thank you.
It is my honor to introduce Julia Frazier. She's a kind, generous, and uplifting person who consistently brings positivity into every space she enters. Julia is known for her drive to step up and help others, whether through always volunteering her time, supporting classmates, or simply offering a warm smile to brighten someone's day. Her commitment to making a difference, no matter how big or small, reflects a deep sense of compassion and integrity. Julia reminds us all of the power of kindness and in the importance of showing up for one another. It's a pleasure to recognize someone who leads by an example through her actions and attitude. Please join me in welcoming Julia.
Surprise! So I managed to keep this a secret from my whole family, even my boyfriend, who I tell everything. Now, this wasn't an easy task, but between senior activities, work, and school itself, it was easier than I expected. I'm going to start off by thanking all of you guys. To my friends, thank you for all the amazing memories we made. Thank you to my teachers who put up with my attitude and for allowing me to distract you long enough so we didn't have to learn anything that day. Other than you, Miss Wind, I swear, all of our conversations that took up the whole period were accidental. Thank you to my parents who have always been there and made sure I had everything I needed to continue my success. Especially thank you for letting me take a few mental health days and picking me up at lunch when school just wasn't it. Thank you to my grandparents for being my chauffeur until I got my driver's license and for protecting me when my parents had to yell at me. Thank you to Michael, who was my biggest supporter and best friend. Thank you to Mike and Tracy for accepting me with arms wide open. Thank you, Nikki, Josh, Scott, Kaylee, and your kids for the amazing memories you've shared with me and also being cool enough to make dark jokes with. Thank you for Ava for being an amazing older sister and especially for doing my fast before me. I love you all, but this isn't what my speech is about. Today, I'll share some memories I've made with these outstanding people behind me. In first grade, I remember being in Miss Young's class. George and I would stay after school and practice reading and writing. Mrs. Young even told me that I was using her whole bottle of whiteout. Now I'm an honors student and who loves learning. Third grade, I remember this moment clearly. It was the first time I officially met Alyssa Eckler. As most of you know, she has an eye that has two colors. I saw it and I was astonished. It was and is so pretty. Fifth grade. Now, the way Benton Hall is set up, the classrooms are by grade level, by floor. Well, fifth grade was on the top floor. And I think there's 4 stories. Well, for gym, we had to walk all the way down and then back up them after. It was horrible. 7th and 8th grade, now these were the COVID years for us, so online school with all of us with our cameras to the ceiling was quite boring. Most of us slept during class anyways. Now, in high school, these were the years we started doing important things. Freshman year was Shrek the Musical. I remember hiding backstage behind the curtain to watch Lucy nail I Know It's Today. Sophomore year was huge for me. I had met and became friends with people I care so much about today. This same year, Mrs. Miscala had us write to our future selves in the beginning of the year. Let me share a little of what I said. Please figure out what you will do with your life. Also, love yourself truly. We only get to live once. Who knew our younger selves would give us good advice? I sure hope all of your letters were giving good advice. I mean, we hear lots of it, especially that senior year goes fast and you'll miss it once it's over. And I am almost positive all of you can agree, now that you've experienced. I know I can. Speaking of that, can you guys believe it? We are finally done. We have experienced so much together, and I am so proud I can say I graduated with the class of 2025 at Little Falls High School. More importantly, I am proud of how much we have grown and achieved. Even if we aren't close, I am proud of you. I have been blessed to see all of you grow into the spectacular people you are today. I would thank you for letting me be a part of it, but that just isn't good enough. So instead, I'll leave you with a piece of advice. You should be proud of how far you have come, and no matter how little your future accomplishments might seem, be proud of them, relish in them. Every step is a step towards success. Sometimes we even have to take a few steps back to continue forward, and that is perfectly fine.
I love you guys, and I can't wait to see all of you accomplish your goals. With that, thank you and good night. A common theme of many speeches to graduates is to find something that you're passionate about and make that your life's work. I have the honor of recognizing individuals that have shared their passion with the children of the Little Falls City School District in various ways, and we would like to acknowledge them at this time. The non-union retirees are Janet Johnson, BHA Lunch Monitor, Sandy Munger, BHA Lunch Monitor. From the CSEA Unit 7108 in the district office, the retirees are Michael Hensel, Building Maintenance Worker, John Connick, Groundskeeper, BHA, Cheryl Long, Teacher Aide in BHA Nurse's Office, Deborah Schaefer, Food Service Helper, BHA Cafeteria, and Kim Warden, Teacher Aide at BHA. Thank you for your service to the children of the Little Falls City School District. From the Little Falls Teachers Association, it is an honor to recognize Wendy Elgire, BHA teacher, Lynn Marati, speech therapist, Elizabeth Line, high school social studies teacher. And from the Little Falls Administration Association, it is an honor to recognize John Joseph Long, BHA principal. They have shared so much with students as we approach graduation in the real world. Thank you for the lessons taught in and out of the classroom. We are honored that we get to share this day with you as we all leave Little Falls School District. We wish you the best as you commence to a new chapter in your life, just as we are about to do. I also have the honor of recognizing our class advisors. Tara Milianta has been with our class since 6th grade. She has always initiated fundraising opportunities for our class and would come up with the craziest ideas to make our high school experience better. From making sure things are picture perfect to making fireworks at prom happen. Mandy White has also been with our class since 6th grade. She's the backbone of our class. She's the planner and organizer to make sure everything goes smoothly. Many of us have had the opportunity to have Mrs. White as a teacher or as a coach and have gotten to witness her dedication to everything she does. Thanks to our advisors, we had great middle school and high school activities. Planning homecoming, prom, senior trip, and other activities were a great opportunity for our class to come together. So thank you again, Mrs. Milianta and Mrs. White.
It's an honor to introduce our next speaker. It's been nice getting to know him these last few years and watching him achieve many accomplishments and grow as a person. Obviously not in height, though. Here's the man himself, Matthew Berry.
Good evening, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2025. I stand before you today with pride and relief that our hard work has paid off, and even more in disbelief that the ride has come to an end so fast. The transition from freshman year, wearing masks to class, to senior year, not going to class, seemed all too short, but at the same time, just right. Now, I can ramble on with the cheesy phrases like, we did it, or we finally made it, or the cliches of how we overcame many challenges to make it here, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. You hear things like these over and over, and they sort of lose their meaning, but today is truly an occasion to celebrate and be extremely proud of. Each of us has had unique struggles and obstacles that we have had to overcome, and each and every one of us has had to overcome those obstacles. And I have faith that we will continue to do so in our future endeavors. Now, like most of my assignments in my 4 years at this fine school, I was procrastinating writing this speech. I couldn't decide what to leave my friends, family, and teachers who have helped me so much on this journey. I was so stressed, and then I realized that the truth is, none of you will remember this speech. Of course, that's the goal when giving speeches, but the reality is, no matter how groundbreakingly great or unbelievably horrible this speech is, you all will go on with your lives and forget about it probably within an hour, or if I'm lucky, a day or two. Or maybe I'll trip when I walk off the stage and you'll laugh about it for a week. And this isn't a bad thing, it's just the way the world works. Everyone is so wrapped up in their own lives, they don't have the energy to think about you. We are all beautifully insignificant. I know that sounds off-putting at first, but I promise it's a good thing. There are billions of people on this planet. That means billions of stories and billions of dreams. Everyone has their own problems to worry about. Nobody is that wrapped up in your life. We each have our own set of dreams and ambitions, and we all have the power to achieve them. So one question I would love to ask the class of 2025 ask themselves is why not? Why not chase our dreams? Why not give it everything we have and then some? Fear of being laughed at for trying? Fear of failure? That's silly. Why not truly attempt to be happy, be fulfilled? There's one thing I can guarantee about our future, that at the end of our lives, we will not be happy that we didn't chase that dream. We will not be happy that we took the safe route and settled with mediocrity instead of chasing what makes us happy, just because of what other people would think of us. Now, I'm not saying we have to go skydiving and become world famous singers or anything, just that we have the entire world at our fingertips now. Whether the dream is moving to Alaska or actually being a world famous singer, we all have the power to chase that. And anybody who says otherwise will probably forget about it within an hour because no one really cares that much about what you're doing. So don't be held back by what your fear of other people think. Chase your dream, whatever that may be. This is a monumental day in our lives, and we deserve to celebrate this accomplishment. On behalf of the Little Falls class of 2025, I would love to thank Ms. Dooley and the rest of our wonderful staff for helping guide us to this moment and molding us into the people we are today. We could not have asked for a better team. Not done yet, sorry. This is the end of a chapter in all of our lives, and whether you're sad to leave or can't wait to go home and forget about this place forever, I'm proud to have shared my high school experience with all of you. We have the power to write our own story now, and I suggest we pick up the pen. Thank you.
I've known Elizabeth for well over a decade, but I never actually talked to her much until a year or so ago. Honestly, I don't know if many people really did. My friends and I now sometimes compare her to a small little Pomeranian dog that shakes all the time. I never would have expected that one random day she's in the car with me and my friends, gracing us with some of the greatest music polls I've ever heard and making me laugh harder than I had in a while. I definitely would have never thought that she would be the person falling asleep next to me on the couch, only to wake up and laugh way too hard at a Family Guy clip that really wasn't that funny, and then immediately fall back asleep. Elizabeth is always full of surprises, whether it's a hilarious out-of-pocket joke, all the perfect words of support that I'd keep with me for years, or all of her hidden talents I've slowly discovered. Like watching her laugh at me while Jason Tatum and friends single-handedly tear apart my fantasy basketball team. Among these talents, I also discovered that she's arguably the greatest writer I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. So when she mentioned wanting to write a graduation speech, I made sure I did everything in my power to make it happen. And above all that, she was still concerned about taking my speech away from me because she was willing to sacrifice something important to her for the sake of my well-being. That's just the kind of person that she is, and I do not deserve to have her as a friend. I hope she knows that I wouldn't take this speech back for $1 million. That she realizes just how much she deserves to give this speech, and that I know she's gonna kill it. I've gotten to watch her find her voice, watch other people realize she's as awesome as she is, and just watch her grow as a person in the best ways. And I am so excited to be able to see what she will do in college and how she'll leave an impact on the world. So without further ado, I present to you all the absolute GOAT who ain't from 63rd, Elizabeth Wolishko.
I am very well aware that this will likely be the first words I've ever spoken to the majority of you in the class of 2025. so every single one seems to carry a little extra weight. I have to start off by thanking Bryn for the comfort as I panicked over coming across as pretentious over the last few days. She let me know that everyone thinks you're mute, so you can say whatever you want. And also offered to play Family Guy clips in the background to keep everyone's attention as we near the end of this ceremony, and the offer still stands. On top of that, I'm so grateful for the teachers, family, and friends whose perspectives I've had the privilege of hearing over the years, and as a result of deciding to speak today. I thank you for our conversations and for making me stop editing this an hour ago. I really could not ask for a better support system. I'd like to begin with the words of Anthony Bourdain. If I do have any advice for anybody, any final thought, if I'm an advocate for anything, it's to move. As far as you can, as much as you can, across the ocean or simply across the river. The first time I heard the late traveler's advice, I was waiting for my life to begin when high school ended, which was nothing more than a preamble to the real thing. I would become a better, more real version of myself when I had a change of scenery. But as I've learned, wherever you go, there you are. The pursuit of experience and novelty is, without a doubt, something that makes life worth living. It gives us a vision to move in the direction of, even if it appears out of reach. But a telescope towards a final destination, blurring what's near, can be accompanied by detachment from your current self, peers, and moment in time, and then nowhere ever truly feels like home. Up until about a year ago, I would be departing this time of my life with next to no attachments, and could not have imagined closing this chapter feeling any other emotion than relief and anxiety for what's to come. But I feel lucky to have zoomed in this last year and called this place, district, hallways, and people home. This strong foundation of community has made me even more excited for the vastness of the world and experiences possible, far outside what has been shown to us in the limited perspective of our lives so far. I hope we leave this small town for however long and keep leaving, not because this place was meaningless, but because we let it mean something. Because we used it as a springboard, because we know we'll be able to love and get attached to even more of the world. My hope for all of us is to have no rigid plans, to not only move as much and as far as we can, but to call these experiences home, despite knowing that we may, or will certainly have to leave them behind one day. That kind of attachment is scary. Attachment is no doubt the root of all misery. It's what makes a certain song or phrase unbearable to hear, gives us the ability to grieve and to fear loss, but it is also what makes life meaningful. Would we trade the warmth of connection for the safety of indifference? I hope that we never walk through life unmoved and unaffected, but accept the cost of caring and choose to care over and over again. That capacity to care deeply is something that can appear to fade as we get older. Some of us will only remember the 6, 7, 14-year-olds we once were, or as the person we only showed up as in school. The self here today may be unrecognizable to us a year from now, but the change we've seen over the years wasn't and never will be linear. We'll stumble, regress, and become someone that we thought we had outgrown. Life will hold up a new mirror just when we think we finally know ourselves, and my hope, again, is that we move excitedly towards those new reflections. Never settling for what is comfortable or shying away from change, which none of us deserve, but also that we honor the people we've been and the pieces that formed us. I believe that all of those versions are worth immortalizing. It has been an honor to know even one layer of who you are, whether a fleeting interaction or a lasting connection. I know for a fact that there is not a single person who hasn't had an effect on me in some way. Maybe through a joke or a moment of kindness, the memory of these small moments all shape an understanding that we will never pass through life unseen. We leave an impact on each other, and that impact doesn't end here with us. Even though my usual silence has never communicated this, your presence has always been appreciated and mattered more than you know.
I really hope you guys aren't sick of me yet. If you are, you're out of luck because I have more than one cool friend. So, a little story. When I was in 4th grade or so, I did this camp for women in STEM, I think. I don't even remember why I was there. What I do remember is this other girl that I never met before who really loved Animal Crossing and became my best friend for that day, even though I knew I'd probably never see her again. Well, Fast forward to freshman year, I meet this random new girl named Kernan, and we become best friends in about 2 seconds. One summer day, we're hanging out and going through old pictures, and she pulls up this picture of little me as a weather broadcaster at the STEM camp, and all of a sudden it comes back to me. I think the universe knew how much I needed Kernan in my life, and I'm really grateful that it did. If she didn't exist, I don't think I would be standing here right now. Kernan has always been there to help me stay grounded, to support me through thick and thin, and to just be the best friend I could ever ask for. I probably spent hours on the phone with her talking about everything and nothing at the same time, including a lot of time she spent painstakingly explaining the Cookie Run lore or various other franchises while I try to understand like a grandma learning about the internet for the first time. But I've loved every minute of it. Kernan also takes the title of one of, if not the greatest artist that I know among the many, many other things that she excels at and acts like it's not even hard. She's taught me how to keep it real, how to see the beauty in small things, how to really have passion for something, and most importantly, how to be an amazing friend and an even better person. So even though I'm sure you all want to go home, I hope that you can stay alert for a little longer because I promise you that this speech is worth hearing. It is my greatest honor to introduce you all, without further ado, to Kernan Wallace-Ian.
Thank you, Bryn. Your words mean so much more than you realize. Hello, how are you all? I'm well, thank you, and I really hope you're all doing well too. Walking up here to this podium, to this stage, this afternoon, I feel uncertain, and uncertainty bleeds concern, and I ask myself, to what do I owe the honor, and who do I owe anything? And what do you listening, watching, owe me? Nothing. The answer is nothing, really. I can't ask for your wallet, even if I'd like to, the clothes off your back, your purse or seat, but those things are all physical, tangible, and there's more to life than just that. So what is owed? Life is a constant cycle of give and get. We cannot receive without expectation to give in return. So what is expected to be given? Kindness. We give kindness, and if we cannot be kind, we owe respect at the very least. Kindness is something subtle, unseen, but it's the most important thing we can hold on to survive. This world we are now entering into is complex, and every day it feels as if there's a new disaster televised on the news. We live in times where ice caps melt and misinformation thrives. People lack care and judge others cruelly based on the strangest things. It's easy to be swept up in the negativity and perpetuate the same hurt and hate, but doing so, you will never find fulfillment, so be kind. And when I say be kind, I mean have empathy, please. We are wired for connection. It's what has allowed us to thrive and coexist for centuries. It is fundamentally the root of our shared humanity. So look to the person next to you, ahead of you, behind you, doesn't matter. They have hopes and dreams, aspirations and struggles, battles they've won and lost, and a life just as meaningful and colorful as your own. This is everything. This is connection, and this is what makes this life we share so incredibly precious. If not looking carefully, kindness can easily be diminished and ignored. But you, the individual, have more impact on those around you than you realize. Your kindness is not lost in the stranger you held the door open for, the friend you held in embrace, the child you listened to talk about their favorite toy, the employee you had patience for during a rush hour. This world has more in store for each of you than any of us can imagine, and I beg, as you leave these walls, to hold on to that kindness, that hope, that patience, and respect, because you will need it. And you will find that if you are kind to the world is kind in return. We owe each other everything we can offer, so the real question is, will you take the chance to be kind? Because above all else, there is kindness, and there is love. Thank you.
Okay, so for the 8th time tonight, good evening. Good evening to my fellow graduates, to the high school staff, family members, and friends. If any of you had heard anything about the class of 2025 before the last 2 years, you would know that we were the class that made every teacher consider retirement.
Mrs. Dooley, our principal, is probably the reason that most of those teachers didn't actually retire. Mrs. Dooley has been a guiding light for all of us here today. Her dedication and leadership is the reason why all of us graduating here this evening are as prepared as we can be. Please join me in welcoming our principal, Mrs. Dooley.
As I stand here in front of all of you, I want to first start off by thanking the parents and families of these graduating students this year. I will have to tell you, you were right in the fact that this class tested me and pushed me to my limits. Starting freshman year. I really wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it. Until about, I don't know, an hour ago. But here we are. We did make it. Some of them were definitely worse than others, and you know who you are. If you want to raise your hand, I won't look. Nobody's fessing up? Okay. I see how it is. But most of you realized that I wasn't your enemy and I wasn't against you. They realized that I was their biggest advocate, pushing them to succeed and be a better individual than they were when you walked in at orientation, even though we didn't always get along. I've seen them grow, I've seen them stumble, I've seen them rise, and I've seen them evolve. And I am proud to say that you are all better individuals than you were when you walked in at orientation. As many of you heard during student speeches, they get it. And I thought it was really important. This is the first time I've had so many speakers want to speak, and I wanted them all to have a voice. And they were all unique, and they all had their own message. They've all had their own experiences here. Some of them understand more about life than many do even decades older than them. You understand that kindness is not weakness. Kernan reminded us that in the world brimming with harshness, confusion, and judgment, we owe each other something simple but profound, and that's kindness. And if kindness feels out of reach on any given day, then at least every one of you owes someone respect. You've heard me say that time and time again, that I don't care if you don't like them. You're gonna respect them, right? Elizabeth spoke about moving on and movement, of the desire to go far, to see the world, to chase something different, but you also reminded us of the value of connection and how scary and beautiful it is to let ourselves get attached. Because yes, attachment invites loss, but it also gives us meaning and memory and love. And as you said, we should never walk through life unmoved and unaffected. Go meet new people and make more connections. Matt said that what so many are afraid to admit, that chasing dreams is scary. But the cost of not chasing them is far greater. Giving normalcy and comfort of all of that you have known for the past 13 years is the next step that you all have to take. You will be okay, and your support systems and the connections that you have made will still be here when you need them. I will always be here. Hopefully you don't forget that part of my speech, but maybe you will. Because Matt was right. In a few days, most of you probably won't remember exactly what was said here tonight, but I do have a few more things that I need you to remember. The students are always used to hearing me say this and telling them the hard truth. They know I don't sugarcoat anything. They often avoid me when they know that I was right, which is a lot, because I remind them, one day you're going to remember this, and I'm going to remind you that I was right. Anybody want to fess up that I've done that to them? Yeah. Good for you. Thanks to you, Kaylee. But, excuse me, they often avoid me because of that, but they also know when they do something wrong or they have a misstep that I'm going to listen and I'm going to help them through it. So remember that. I'm going to give you some harsh truths, like I usually do. No one is coming to change your life. No one is going to do it for you. These are the words of Mel Robbins, even though many of you have heard me probably say something similar. Mel Robbins is an author and a speaker whose clarity cuts straight to the truth, which is probably why I like her so much. And I listen to her stuff. I want to share some of her 6 hard but hopeful truths that echo what so many of you have already expressed in your speeches and heard me say over the past 4 years. 1, your dreams are your responsibility. If you're waiting for someone to give you permission or to pick you, I've got news for you. No one is coming to do that. You don't need to be chosen. Choose yourself. You need to do it. You can do it. 2, you need to kick your own ass. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have the perfect plan. You don't need to have the perfect moment. Start before you're ready. Do the work. Show up on time. Please. Show up even when you don't feel like it. And remember, be on time. They had an issue. 3, you don't need permission. You need action. The people who get what they want in life aren't waiting for the sign from the universe. They are the sign. They understand what success and happiness, they understand that success and happiness come from within. You have to work hard. 4, if you don't feel ready, do it anyway. You won't have all the answers. You'll be nervous, you'll mess up, but do it anyway. Big changes come from small actions. Make the call, sign up for classes, send the email, take the leap. And yes, break up for real this time. One small move every day adds up to a life transformed. If you're outside your comfort zone, you're doing it right. Growth doesn't feel safe, it doesn't feel familiar, but if you're stretching, if you're risking, if you are unsure, you're growing. You're moving in the right direction. Your classmates touched on these truths again and again in talking about fear of the unknown, the regret of not cherishing the lasts, the power of simply showing up. You are already living Mel's Robinson's message and even mine over the years. Again, Matt, joke, nobody's gonna remember this probably. But what you may not realize, your words, your presence, and your growth will echo far beyond this night, not because of what you said or what you've done, but who you are becoming. So, to the class of 2025, I say this: be kind, genuinely, deeply, relentlessly kind. Chase what matters to you, not what looks good on paper, but what makes you feel alive. Let yourself care, even if it hurts sometimes. Say goodbye to this chapter and step boldly, strongly into the next. And don't wait for someone else to hand you the life that you want, because they are not coming to do that. You have to build it yourself. So, congratulations to the class of 2025. The world may not be waiting for you, but I promise you that it needs you. I love you. I will always be there for you. Thank you for being a part of my journey. And go and do great things.
Nadia Sarah Antonio. Wyatt Allen Beadle. Isabella Lynn Berg. Catherine Margaret Billings. Nevaeh Blackwood. Abigail Mary Brand. Carissa Lee Bronson. David Michael Brown, Jr. Dean David Bruce, Jr. Jaden Anthony Burkhart. Dylan Callahan. Kaylee Marie Callahan. Olivia Christine Canistar. Marshall Allen Chandler. Tyler Robert Conklin. Matthew Daniel Cotton. Dakota Jalen Desjardins. Gavin Jacob Dibble. Alyssa Marie Eckler. Aiden James Fahey. Julia Lynn Frazier. Michael George Jr. Benicio Christopher Gonzalez. Ava Marie Gerchik. Chase Owen Harrer. Jamie Elizabeth Harrigan. Caitlin Natalie Herringshaw. Tyler Alexander Higgins. Kara Ann Hudson. Jackson Reed Hummel. Grayson Rains Eichen. Dominic Joseph Izzo. Lucy Elizabeth Johns. Calissa Addison Koch. Juliette Grace Kosicki. Alexis Madison Kress. Haley Rose Lasher. Luke Law. Mason Connor Levely. William Anthony McCree. Colin Anthony Manicus. Olivia Frances McGraw. Nikisha Marie McCoy. Gage Allen McLean. Derek Jude Milianta II. Cheyenne Sierra Miller. Jacob Douglas Morgan. Paige Olivia Marone. Aubrey Marie Mowers. Michaela Ann Mowers. D'Angelo Christian Munoz. Abigail Olivia Myers. Allison Christine Nichols. Mia Daniela Nichols. Marissa Otero. Kyra Delan Ozturk. Mika Aaliyah Palumbo. Hayden Rose Pedrick. Evan William Petrie. Mackenzie Starr Peck. Molly Alexander Podless. Penelope Ray. Zoe Lane Ramunda. George Douglas Roger. Gabriana Paige Ropeter. Alexis Renee Ruggiero. Akira Kimura Rushing. Destiny Elizabeth Rushing. Robert Joseph Russell III. Mason Anthony Sousa. Garrett Ryan Ciro. Bryn Marie Shepherdson. Gabrielle Arabella Slater. Maya Ann Stutz. Zane Oliver Senecki. Ashton Caden Talbot. Justin Michael Terwilliger. Matthew Fiorello Veri. Alexis Vespi. Kernan Elizabeth Wallace Eaton. Elizabeth Ann Walechko. Lauren Noel White. Amelia Rose Rittner. Madison Marie Willett. Blake Williams.
They're just taking their time to get back on stage, like nobody's waiting for them or anything. This is what I'm talking about. I now present you, officially, the class of 2025.